Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso with Integral here, sharing another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're talking about 5 things every Mac user should know. It's maybe a Windows world, but there are plenty of Mac users out there. Some have been Mac loyalists forever, others are just now getting into the game when it concerns using a Mac. Mac and Windows are not that difficult, and they're pretty similar. I am a multi-user, meaning that I use Windows and Mac and Android and iPhone, and you can be too. But if you're switching to Mac, there are 5 things that you need to know in order to get the most from your Mac. What are they? Well, let's switch screens, take a look here, and see what they are. And we're going to switch at some point. There we go. All right, so number 1, you want to make Spotlight your best friend on your Macintosh computer. Spotlight is probably one of the most important tools that you can use on your Macintosh computer. What is Spotlight? Well, let's take a look so that you can see what Spotlight is. Basically, it's the search option under your Macintosh. So we've got our Mac. Let's tell our updates to restart later. Let's go, remind me tomorrow. Alright, so Spotlight is up in the upper right hand corner of your Mac. If you click on the Spotlight, you'll get the Spotlight search option where you can type in just about anything you want to find on your Mac. So if you wanted to find let's say you wanted to find settings, you could just type in the word settings under Spotlight, and lo and behold, settings pops up. Anything that you want to find on your Mac, you can just go and type in an option to find it with Spotlight, and it will appear automatically. Spotlight is probably one of the most handy tools that you will use on your Macintosh computer. Anything can be found with Spotlight. I don't know why I paused there, but it's similar to the Cortana search in Windows 10, and it's safe to say that Windows 10 stole that feature from Macintosh. It's been with Mac forever, and it's probably one of the most important tools that you can use on your Mac. Next on our list, as far as things that you need to learn with your Mac, is you need to learn to sign into iCloud. With Apple and its environment with iCloud, when you sign in with your iCloud account on your computer, then it makes it a lot easier for you to use all the integrated stuff that iCloud offers on your Mac. What does that look like? Well, let's switch screens and find out. Well, I've got the printer and scanner screen here, so let's get rid of that. But to get to iCloud, it's simply going to the Apple menu. Once you go to the Apple menu, you can go either to the App Store and it'll sign you in, or you can go to Preferences, and once you're under Preferences, you can go to iCloud, wherever the heck it is, and there we go, right here. And you double click on iCloud and it will ask you to sign in using your Apple ID and your password. What is that? Well, if you've got an iPhone or an iPad, your Apple ID is the login that allows you to get in access to your apps from the App Store. Once you log into iCloud on your Mac, then it will allow you to synchronize between all of your other Apple devices. So if you have an iPhone and you want to sync between your iPhone and your Mac, iMac or your Mac Mini, then you would sign into iCloud right here. Same thing if there's any other Apple stuff that you want to sync, such as the iCloud Drive on your MacBook, then it's very important that you go ahead and sign into iCloud using your Apple ID, which will allow you to get much more from your entire Apple experience. Moving right along, you want to set up Time Machine on your Mac. Now, Time Machine is the backup program that is enabled on your Macintosh computer. Time Machine allows you to hook up an external hard drive, and once you hook up to that external hard drive, you can back up your information automatically. The great thing about Time Machine is that it allows you to have multiple backups of your items. So if something catastrophic happens to your Mac, you will automatically be able to restore that information and get to it. Now, looking at Time Machine, there's two ways to get to it. Many Macs will have it up in the upper right hand corner where you can just enter Time Machine, and you can go set up Time Machine if you click. The other option is to go into settings from the Apple menu. Click on the little apple there, go into System Preferences, and once you're in the System Preferences, you can double click on Time Machine. Pretty darn simple, right? Once you plug in an external hard drive, Time Machine will allow you to back up your information hourly for a 24-hour period like it says here. So if you're not using Time Machine for your Mac, you need to go ahead and enable Time Machine because it's a pretty important utility that you need to use in order to get more from your Mac. The next thing that you need to do with your Mac is to set up automatic downloads. Automatic downloads are the option that allows you to download updates to your Mac. One of the problems that Mac users run into is that their Macs aren't up to date, and that's unfortunate. You want to make sure you stay on top of those updates to keep your Mac safe. What does that look like? Well, if we switch screens here, you can go into about this Mac once we get into it, and it'll give you a little information about your Mac. Go to software updates, and it will tell you all the updates that need to be enabled. Once you get that feature going on your Mac, it's pretty darn simple to make sure that your Mac stays up to date and that you aren't behind on your updates, because with Mac, if you're not current with your updates, then your operating system is out of date. And finally, our last tip is number 5, get familiar with the Apple menu. The Apple menu is a gateway to all of the applications that you would utilize on your Macintosh. It allows you to go through and obviously open up programs, but it allows you to go in and change settings as well. What does that look like? Well, let's switch screens and go back to our Mac, and there we are. So getting rid of the Mac High Sierra screen, you can basically just click on the Apple menu. You can go to About This Mac, which will tell you all the features about your Mac, processor and memory and the graphics card. You can take a look at your display, your storage, which is very important on your Mac. Services support, not necessarily, but also the Apple menu allows you to go into Finder, which will allow you to get into programs, your desktop, your downloads, your network. The Apple menu also allows you to go in and go to your system preferences so that you can change everything, all the settings on your Mac, including your printer, your trackpad if you have one, keyboard, mouse, even your display settings. So the Apple menu gets you where you need to go, and you need to use it, or else you're not going to get more from your Mac. So if you like this tech tip, leave a comment in the comment section below. Would love to hear and find out what stuff that you want me to cover in future videos. And speaking of videos, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, either at Integral or myself, Burton Kelso, the technology expert. Tons of tech tips on YouTube and on our social media channels that are designed to empower you, to help you get more out of your technology. What does empower like? Empower you. Anyway, take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile. And thanks for watching.